All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Cyrus Suicide. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited, delighted to be accepting members to not only the Cyrus Suicide YouTube page, but the General SETI YouTube page, two dynamic powerhouse institutions on YouTube, giving you nothing but black power, black divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. I want you to become a member. Link for the memberships right down in the video description is in the chat. All you had to do is just click it. You get a video introduction, rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Rasoon SETI General SETI YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website up on Teachable. Uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse programs, certificate courses. First one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption of Definitive Black Manhood, designed by the General, strictly for the brothers. It's an amazing, amazing course. You can get a preview just by clicking the link over there in the chat. Also included the Brotherhood of Hey Rue Roundtable live stream, where the brothers meet once a week discussing very vital, important, powerful information pertinent to our growth and development. Get over there, get a preview of the course. Check it out, family. Become a brother, become a member today. Ring the alarm, KingSETI.com, online marketplace, official General Sarasun SETI DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. I got something for you, family. I know you're going to like and love. Check out that catalog, get a discount, shop and save and shop. That's right. Pull the fire alarm. We dropping nuclear bombs on Patreon. That's right, family. I want y'all to get over there. Over 500 exclusive live stream that you cannot find nowhere else on the planet. The only platform where you're gonna get this exclusive material. We got a level, over 5 levels. Each level you're gonna eat. I want you to get over there and find you a level because there's one for you. I want you to get that work. It's extensive information, and you know it's fire. To all the family out there donated to the General, thank you. Appreciate you. For the fact you appreciate me, any of the family would like to donate, the link is in the chat. And I thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King SETI, General SETI, Sarasun SETI. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Hold on, family. All right, here we go, family. Jimmy Kimmel is back on air, and Trump is pissed. This motherfucker on some goddamn draconian rule where he trying to force motherfuckers off the air. He getting motherfuckers fired. He trying to take over the airwaves where you cannot get up there and say nothing about Donald Trump. That's basically what is trying to is boiling down to. If you say anything about Donald Trump, you could be fired. That's what he is attempting to do. So the other day, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know what day it was, he came back yesterday, which is Wednesday. So he been off the air for 2 days. So he was off Monday, Tuesday. So I don't know if it was last Friday, where he had something to say about the death of Charlie Kirk and said that the guy who shot him was MAGA, and they didn't like that. They didn't like that. He went and Jimmy Kimmel been going off on. I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel, but you know what I'm saying. But you know, I don't watch no light, and I don't watch. I wouldn't stay up late to watch no Neanderthal, no goddamn way. You understand what I'm saying? Unless it was a good movie or something. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, he had something to say about the shooter being MAGA, and they didn't like that. So they called in on him. to the producers, Disney, the FCC, to get him removed. And they've been getting some other guys removed as comedians and shit, getting them up out of there. And so, you see this draconian rule where a motherfucker can't even say, how they feel. And so this has been, and so they pulled him off. They pulled him off for 2 days, and people didn't know, where this shit was going, and they bring him back because, a lot of the people in Hollywood, actors, actresses, all type of producers and shit, they filed a petition. You see what I'm saying? They filed and let Disney know you're going to have problems and shit because if motherfuckers can't say what they need to say, we not fucking with you. And so that made them pull. They came right back 2 days. They know that's too much. You see, fuck, that is what it is. You can't stop nobody from saying, but you got a lot of people that, they value, they right to say what the fuck they need to say, and that's just what it is, but I mean, when you think about going on Facebook or YouTube, you ain't got no freedom of speech, no goddamn way. Yeah, when the bankruptcy came, kills his court jester. That's right. Yeah, so shit, but it ain't, see, that's the underlay for the overlay. You see what I'm saying? It ain't really about him. It's about the fact that shit gonna spread like a goddamn disease. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna spread like a disease. You can't say nothing about this guy. You can't say nothing about that guy. You see what I'm saying? So, that was really the overlay for the underlay. You see what I'm saying? And so we had to be careful about, what's happening right before our eyes and shit, you can't even say shit on goddamn that's just like when they had COVID out here. You couldn't even write. You couldn't even, Yeah, they been came for us. Motherfuckers is still, I know motherfuckers still in Facebook jail. You see what I'm saying? Motherfucker ain't got it. You understand what I'm saying? They hit my ass up the other day, and I ain't, and I ain't even say they went back to some goddamn video I had them there 5 years ago. Some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, motherfucker, you got in your feelings about a goddamn video from 5 years ago. But it was an old video, and then just pop up and motherfuckers. I say, goddamn, I ain't said shit on this motherfucker in so long and shit, but that's how they do. You'll come in to sign in and it be some shit from way back and shit. Why you got to go in there and look every blue moon and shit, and see if a motherfucker, it didn't struck you down and shit. But that's how they do, you can't, and so, but, they pulling people's off of the broadcasting, you see, because because you got certain districts of people that watch certain shit that just like they keep the ratings on certain shows and shit, and they know where, you got MAGA in this area and shit, and they might not want to run your motherfucking show because you saying some shit against them. And so, that's what it is. But, this is ABC. You know what I'm saying? This is motherfucker. And that's what it's getting down to. Where motherfucker just gonna have you get a package deal. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have MAGA. They gonna have MAGA packages and shit. Yeah. They come for you every now and then. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have a MAGA package. Oh, yeah, I seen it. Yeah. You fuck it. You don't pay no attention. This is acting. You know what I'm saying? It's acting. He's a good actor. We know what it is. But that, we don't even really, it ain't even about him. It's about the ability to be able to say what you need to say without getting locked the fuck up. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Because he talking about locking motherfuckers up just for saying some shit. Yeah, I mean, like, goddamn, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? You soft house shoe wearing ass motherfucker. You supposed to be so big and bad and shit. You know what I'm saying? Big bad man, and you can't even take a motherfucker, motherfucker crack a joke on you or something like, man. We see we was raised with that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? When motherfucker talk about you, you had to learn how to, you had to learn how to get back with a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? You got to learn how to get back with a motherfucker. That's what it's about. You soft, motherfucker. But the thing is, that true shit hurt. Yeah. They lied and said they pulled it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they ain't pulled. That motherfucker Donald Trump called in and say, motherfucker, this motherfucker talking shit. Y'all want problems. We'll have, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, at the end of the goddamn day, you feel what I'm saying? What you mean? The whole Hollywood and everybody, every actor, everybody ain't going for that. Everybody ain't scared of goddamn Donald Trump. You see what I'm saying? And they see what he's trying to do. He's just trying to be a fucking dictator, man. Straight the fuck up. And that's weak shit. You weak. If you was really a good, and I'm not saying there's no good goddamn politicians, because it ain't. But it's some motherfuckers out here. Obama finesse motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? That motherfucker didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Didn't do shit for a motherfucker. But to a lot of people, he was get up there and give a good speech and finesse a motherfucker and make it. So to a lot of these motherfuckers, they felt like he really did do something for them. You know what I'm saying? He got that preacher mentality. Get up there and preach a good sermon and shit. And they got that good feel good dopamine and shit. Some of them motherfuckers get that dopamine rush from that goddamn sermon. And so, Obama finessed their ass. Yeah, he sued him. Yeah, well, with Donald Trump, he was talking about suing Disney. He was talking about suing somebody, ABC. He talking about suing ABC. But that's all legal. That's weak shit. Cause you got you got your clothes. You got nasty clothes all over the place, and people's just finding out what you've been doing. And you just don't want nobody to say nothing. You see, you didn't know you thought people was gonna forget about the Epstein files, and really this is what it's all about, because they do not want it coming out, but it's gonna come out. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna come out, and if they find out he didn't been with any type of underage, he need to go to jail, straight up, and that's what it's boiling down to. That his ass gonna end up in jail. Look at them motherfuckers, they all crooked. And then that's what I'm saying. You got these fake MAGA motherfuckers trying to, try to come at the, because that's diverting the energy. You know what I'm saying? They need some, they need to divert the energy somewhere else. And so with this Charlie Kirk shit, they want to start some shit with black people. Get the fuck on. Ain't nobody thinking about y'all. Ain't nobody. Get the fuck on. Find you something to do. You see what I'm saying? Because, they want to talk about Dr. Martin Luther King and shit and all of that. And here it is. This man is actually a sexual deviant. He's been found guilty civilly in a civil court of sexual abuse and got all type of accusations. Over 12 different women didn't accuse him of some form of deviance. You see, and Martin Luther King ain't never been accused of nothing in his lifetime. Motherfuckers come after he dead with it. And so, but here it is, you talking about an awful man, talking about Martin Luther King, but this is a diversion. You see, they creating all these diversions to get the eye off of their ass. That's the reality of it. They trying to get this. So he's coming up with all kind of shit just to keep people, you know what I'm saying? He went to the UN today, and Ray said they say he can't come to no more summit. He go up in there and embarrass himself. Going there talking to the world. They don't give a fuck about nothing this man talking about. You see what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck what this man in the United States better not. But that's just show you the base I'm just being real. It shows you the base and how they believe how these ain't nothing but backwood hillbillies. I don't give a fuck what, I don't care where you find them. There ain't nothing, even if they living in a mansion or something, there ain't nothing but a backwood hillbilly. They got that hillbilly mentality. They really ain't on the level we on. You see what I'm saying? If we had been into technology, but again, you got to think, man, only a few people, if black people hadn't marched to get into somebody, because I mean, yeah, we got university, but you got to have the ability to get access to, you know, chemistry labs and machinery and all of that shit. You've been barred out of that, nigga. You've been barred out. You can't just go in there and get that shit. So they, even though we had schools, technically they had better schools. You see what I'm saying? So in order to get in there and get into a medical and get that medical, become a doctor, you know, get out there and get into them, you know, you had to go to the white man's school. That's just what it is. Okay, that's just what it is. Motherfuckers coming from all over the world to these schools for the same reason. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't have that. You see? So the thing is, that's another thing that we've been kept out. If the white man say he ain't, just think they just integrated. And so the thing is we didn't want the integration into the community. It was just having access to school, having access to the higher education and shit. And a lot of the shit, we had some in part in inventing some of the shit. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't even have a lot of this shit if we hadn't had. So it was certain individual, but on a mass level, we didn't have access to the school. And so we had to get in there and had a civil rights movement so we could have access to the higher education on technical education, the technical education, not the philosophy, not the what they call the humanities. We didn't need the humanities. We didn't need the culture. We didn't need nothing. All that we needed was access to the technology. You know what I'm saying? The medicine, the science, and all of that, having access to that. And that's what we was trying. But all that integrating into and that's what happened. You see, that's exactly what happened. But when you got somebody that's keeping you out, how you gonna get in? How the fuck you gonna get in? And so that's what had to happen in order for us to get some of the high technical people that we got out here today in medicine and in science. We wouldn't have that on the level that we had today. You see? Yeah, we need all our own shit. But you see, the thing is, you got to get generations of scientists that's passing down information. You can't put no one motherfucker in there. You got to have you had to have masses of your people. Thank you, family. You got to have masses of your people in there. One motherfucker, we got one motherfucker. We got some great ones, but they don't let a whole grouping get in there. You see what I'm saying? That's why they had to make it the affirmative action where you get 10% in at least fit. You got to have at least 10, 15% of the workforce got to be black. But then see, they sabotaged that because they went in there with that and start adding other minorities that should not have been attached to that. You see what I'm saying? They went in there and, you know, anything that's a minority, you know, they made women a minority. Well, we didn't need women as a minority because the black woman was already in the first package. You see, they added women so they could put the white woman, the Hispanic woman, the Chinese woman, they minorities. Now they come on our shit after we done fought, bled, and went out. They wasn't even over in this goddamn where they were. The white people was over here, but most of the Chinese, the Hispanic, they wasn't even over here in the goddamn 40s, 50s, and 60s like that. This was black and goddamn white. They just got over here. You see what I'm saying? In the numbers that they in here. So when we talking about these fights, this is really us. You know what I'm saying? We the ones was out here. So that affirmative action and that DEI was for black people. Now they got homosexuals and you understand what I'm saying? All this crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? minorities and shit. So that's what they did to sabotage it. That's what they did to sabotage it. But we got to know that. And now they saying now that it then became a fucking circus. Now they want to come and say DEI is. See, you got to watch the game. They play this shit based on where where they at in, depending on the timeline. At that time, that was their way of hijacking it. Now that is full of vagabonds, and you understand what I'm saying, and all it is, now they want to throw it away. You understand what I'm saying? Now they want to throw it away, but it's a law, and though we don't need it, it still should be in place. It still should be in place because black people when we look at the ownership of motherfucking businesses, but some of them they respect us more today because a lot of these white people out here, they got businesses, they'll hire black people because they know good and goddamn well it's different now because they know that some black people got skills far greater than them goddamn white people, and they ain't gonna fuck their business up. They gonna get the best that they can in that position. But back in the day, they would just hire white people. You see, regardless of their skill level. So that's DEI. That's fucking DEI. This black person could be 2-3 times better than that motherfucker, but because they're not hiring black people, then you don't get the job. That's DEI. What the fuck? In reverse. That's exactly what the fuck it is. And they keep talking about some DEI, and you got these goddamn hillbillies can't even do nothing but goddamn smoke a goddamn cigar and drink gin and shit. You understand? Go down there in the coal mine or something, but motherfucker can't even write his name on a motherfucking piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? Give him a job over a person that's a black person 2 or 3 times more qualified. And so that's why they needed DEI, and really it should stay in place. Because if we still a minority, goddamn, shit. And I don't believe that I'm a minority in the sense, not in the global aspect. And then we might not be a minority even in the national aspect. But I would take it. You see what I'm saying? That's an instrumental warfare. We need that. We need that. God damn it. We need that. I wouldn't give it up. Fuck it. Our ancestors died for it. Why give it up now? You see what I'm saying? Yes, if they say we 15% of the population, then we should at least at minimum be 15% of every motherfucking thing out there. That's true. Yes, I do believe that. At the minimum, we should be 15% of everything out there. You see what I'm saying? And in communities where we are greater than, it should be even higher than that. But we're talking about so that our people can get into the technical, high scientific shit. We need something in place, because if you don't have nothing in place, they gonna ease right back into doing what they've been doing, and motherfuckers gonna fall for the bait. You too far behind. You still too far fucking behind to be thinking you gonna battle with them. These motherfuckers didn't have 250 years to put all the safeguards in the system to keep you from going no further than what they want you to go. Period. Yeah, it's going to be a couple motherfuckers. But again, when you look at the greater picture and you see that 165 million motherfuckers is fighting over 3% of the wealth, figure that shit out. That's just how, just figure this shit out. That's it. Once you know that, then you understand. Yeah, it's some motherfuckers in there, but that ain't the greater picture. Because niggas is still, that's why it's still, if you look at it like that, if you leave the dynamics the way it is right now, and it's going up, it's not going down. It never went down. So no, it's only going one way. You see what I'm saying? So the top 10% got over 50% of the wealth. The top 10% got over 50% of the wealth. On a global scale, it's even higher than that. When I seen the global scale, that shit is crazy. You see what I'm saying? We talking about in the United States, but when you go on the global scale, man, it's the top 1%. Man, goddamn near 99% of the wealth. Crazy numbers. So it's even higher than that. So once motherfucker look at what you got to know the greater number to see where the fuck you at in this game. You can't be, you know what I'm saying? Is this what we gonna do? We gonna rat race in his matrix on a scale like that? Where you only you can get one or two motherfuckers in the top echelons, 3-4 motherfuckers. One year I looked at the Fortune 500, and yeah, we had some motherfuckers that's got some money. They couldn't even get on the motherfucking the fortune, the richest 500 motherfuckers. You had two motherfuckers on there, and they was at the damn bottom. Two motherfuckers. And now today, if you ain't got $3 billion, you can't even get on the list. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't got $3 billion, you can't get on the list. So you got 3 or 4 motherfuckers on the list. We ain't on nothing. You see what I'm saying? Quit looking at this 1 or 2 or 3 motherfuckers. We ain't got no numbers in that party. So how do you get out of that? And Marcus Garvey told motherfuckers, you gonna have to have your own house. That's it. That's the only way you gonna get numbers like that is have your own motherfucking house. That's it. You start in your own community now. You got to start and you got to get some what they call experience. You start in your own and you build there. You take over that first. That's the only you thinking big. You know where you want to go, but you got to start right there in your own community and own that first and build it. And once you get the experience, you expand. You see these communities start locking, and that's why they wanted to knock out the Tulsa, Oklahomas, the Rosewoods, the Ocoees, and all of that. With people's is because they're gonna start being blueprints for the other smaller community. And so what you do, you knock out the ones that's doing good. Cause that they don't have no blueprint. You see what I'm saying? That destroys the blueprint. You got leaders that got a vision that know where we need to go. Knock them off. You see, when you take the head, then the people go astray. You see what I'm saying? So now you done knocked off so many leaders. Well, some of these motherfuckers, they like, fuck it, I'm going to just go on and join the glee club and I'm going to go sing for the king and shit. I ain't trying to do what the other ones, because they knocking motherfuckers off. And so you destroy the not the dream, but the blueprint, dream and the blueprint of having nationalism, having knowledge of self, doing for self, having your own government and shit. And you didn't knock that out. So now you got a bunch of niggas running around crazy because they don't have the mother culture. The mother culture would give them automatically that you have to control your own culture. You got to control your own nation, your own people. That's been knocked out of us. You see what I'm saying? We just want to do good in the white man shit, which means, nigga, you gonna get a few niggas up there that's gonna be they gonna be what gonna lead the carrot that you understand on the stick that's gonna lead the donkey to the motherfucking to the cliff. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you can show me how you gonna take, because we know the percentages of who got the money, show me how you gonna get that money from up in the upper echelons. How you gonna get it? You gonna take it from them? You think you can outwit them to get that money? You think you can outwit if they got 50% of the wealth in the top? It ain't even 1%, 10%. It's more like the top 2 or 3% got 50%. So how in the fuck you gonna finesse them out of that money? How you gonna? I ain't never seen it done. And matter of fact, they about to go on a fucking crusade to put the fucking locks down right now. That's what MAGA is. That's what they talking about. They ain't talking about negotiating whatever they think they need to fucking stay in power. They saying they take it. Hey, Greenland, we need that shit over there. You feel me? Nah, either we could do this shit the easy way, we could do it the hard way. Okay, we'll get a call from you in a minute. Panama, listen here, get that shit together down. So they putting the call out on motherfuckers. This is a crusade. They about to go on a crusade. So you tell me how you gonna get it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, tools and fuels. Tell me how you gonna get it, because they about to lock this shit down. So the thing is, we're gonna have to start in our own community, but we're gonna have to get them real leaders back out there and get them books out and get that damn Marcus Garvey back out here and quit bullshitting. Y'all got this fabricated shit. White man ain't giving nobody shit. So all this shit you wasting your motherfucking time. And that's what I'm just gonna be real. It's old to us and we should get it. But the way you get it is very critical on how you get it. Because most motherfuckers in history, like Malcolm X says, goddamn it, if you want to see how how you can get it, look how another motherfucker got it. This shit ain't hard. You see what I'm saying? This shit ain't hard, but you niggas ain't got no heart. You ain't got that vision. Your leaders, you have been knocked off. Now, if you'd had 2 or 3 generations, and Marcus Garvey could have went to his max and then passed it down to Malcolm, and Malcolm had lived and passed it down, and all the leaders and shit could have had, we would be far different than what we are today. But they didn't knocked off our leaders. What the fuck? They done knocked off leaders all over the world, knocked off the best. That ain't just can't nobody just step up there and do that. We talking about our most extraordinary leaders. They done knocked them off. And then you got a period where you don't have a leader as extraordinary as that. So we lax back. And then, the next motherfucker come, he ain't gonna want to go to hard like that. He ain't gonna want to go hard like Khaled. He ain't gonna want to go hard like Malcolm. He gonna go soft. You see what I'm saying? So now you watering down the leaders because these niggas is getting scared that if they say certain shit, they might get their head split or something like that. And so that's not what we needed. And so we didn't have that opportunity. See, and that's another thing that people don't talk about, knocking off our organizations that's doing the work. We know we need organizations. Here it is. You're knocking off the goddamn leaders. You're destroying our organization that's trying to put the work in so that our people can advance. So I don't want to hear no motherfucker talk about, well, why the people that way? Look at what the fuck they doing. Fuck is y'all talking about? Make this shit make sense. You can't goddamn, why you think people got governments? Because they know you got to have people that's doing that kind of work so that the people can advance. You think people could just gonna do it on their own? You think people that got to have government? You got to have the certain leaders that's in all the departments that's necessary to advance the people. And that's why a lot of our people is in the fucking predicament day in the day because they without leaders. Right, we talking about extraordinary leaders. That we without our leaders, and we have not had the chance to develop in the organizations. They knock them off before they can really touch the people in the way that they need to. You see what I'm saying? And so that's most definitely, and the other shit on top of it. Bringing the dope in, bringing that shit in. Niggas is living, you living with, and you seeing these white people and shit living in cars and shit. And these niggas ain't no fool. They know good and goddamn well. Everybody ain't gonna get no goddamn degree, and the motherfuckers that got degrees ain't living like that. So they looking up and say, well, why the fuck can they live like this? Why the fuck can they live? Just because they smart and no, they in power. They ain't got nothing. These are some dumb motherfuckers, but they got enough heart to put down the necessary boot on motherfuckers' necks to stay in power. Ain't got nothing to, and so that's what it boiled down to. Motherfuckers, Malcolm X said, you see how they do it? That's the way you gonna have to do it at the end of the day. If you really want if you want to change, that's what you're gonna have to do. And that's the one thing about Malcolm. He laid that shit out there for you. You see what I'm saying? Don't come in here talking about no revolution. I ain't never seen a revolution that didn't shed blood. God damn it, there's always gonna be some goddamn blood in a revolution. Y'all niggas scared to bleed. Y'all die every day for everything else. You die for gym shoes, you die for this, you die for that, you die for nickel rock and shit and this. But you won't bleed for no goddamn freedom. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's what it's a goddamn about. So today we still, in the and niggas is out here fabricating shit. They out here trying to shit on. Man, I'm seeing some serious hypocrites out in this motherfucker, man. And these niggas is hypocritical Oh my God. Like, damn, y'all out here attacking motherfuckers. And really, I'm like, damn, y'all niggas talking about, trying to get on the African knowledge and shit. And I look, and man, I say, well, damn, you got the leaders on your wall, nigga. I say, what? I'm gonna have to talk about this. Man, dog, talking about the African Senate shit, and you look, they got establishments with the leaders on the wall. I say, wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. You talking about the African Senate knowledge? You talking about the African Senate scholars? You talking about the African Senate philosophy ideology? And you mean to tell me you got the scholars in your establishments? I say, oh, you perpetrating, nigga. Yeah, you perpetrating hard, man. Yeah, nigga, you faking now, nigga. Yeah, nigga, you perpetrating real hard, nigga. Yeah, with my teachers. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, you talk shit behind the and then you perpetrating the fraud, nigga. No, put your motherfucking lead. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all ain't got no leaders. Y'all ain't got none. You feel that's when you see, and that's what you see. When you go in there and you supposed to have all the motherfuckers that teach what you teaching. That's all you supposed to have in it. You ain't got none. You ain't got none. It was our leaders teachers that went out there waking up the world. And then you niggas come on the afterburners and shit. You understand? When them riding they motherfucking coattail, the smoke and shit, trying to usurp them and shit. Yeah, I seen some shit today. I was like, oh, okay, this is what this looked like. Or and I'm just talking. I'm like, I'm talking, but I'm saying what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this your establishment. Oh, okay. Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakanan, Khalid Muhammad. Oh, wow. Francis Cress Wilson. These is African Senate thinkers. What the fuck is you doing? What is this? You see? Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what y'all doing now. Yeah, it's becoming more clear every fucking day, man. But anyway, family, this is what it is. We talking about free speech. We talking about what they're trying to do to shut down our movement. Because ultimately, I mean, we got the biggest voice. We got the biggest truth on their ass. You feel what I'm saying? So, ultimately, they gunning for us. Yeah, they gunning for us. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it is. But anyway, family, I appreciate y'all being out here today. Appreciate y'all being out here today, man. Y'all click that link. I got one more for the road, family, before we get out of there. I'll be right black. I want y'all to arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.